you know, it's the book before Lord of the Rings, and a lot of people have not read this book, or if they have, they don't like it. The people that I know don't like it, they find it boring. I found it interesting. The way I find it interesting is because without the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings is not possible because Bilbo has to get the ring for Frodo to get the ring. So I think that is why it was necessary, and there are other things besides the ring that are very important in this movie. Another thing is that hobbits are lazy people. If you don't know what a hobbit is, it's pretty much like a dwarf but smaller and fatter, and they don't travel, they don't go outside, they don't have journeys. So, when Bilbo had his journey, it kind of made Frodo want to have his own, and that's how you see in Lord of the Rings that they talk a little bit about Bilbo's journey, but they don't really mention anything. Now you can see it, and it is actually pretty interesting. What happens is that Bilbo in this movie, Hobbit Part 1, because there's going to be two of them. I don't know why they're making it into two parts, but yeah, Bilbo goes to get some treasure that is in the Lonely Mountain with a bunch of dwarfs from a dragon called Smaug. They got Martin Freeman to play Bilbo Baggins, which I think is a good choice because he looks like Bilbo Baggins, and Peter Jackson will be directing The Hobbit Part 1. So we all know Peter Jackson's a great director. I loved King Kong and I loved Lord of the Rings. So, let's see what he could do with The Hobbit, because it seems like he's made to make these movies or something. Christopher Lee's back to play Saruman. Ian McKellen's back to play Gandalf. So a lot of returning characters are going to be there, and a lot of new characters. And this movie comes out in 2012, December 19th. There's only one downfall to this whole movie, and that is it's going to be shot in 3D, and you know how I feel about 3D, and if you don't, well, check out the rant. It'll be in the description below. Now, this is a lot like when George Lucas made Star Wars 4, 5, and 6. And then he made 1, 2, and 3. I never understood why he did that, but you can appreciate the story more, I guess. But what happened, what he did wrong was that he gave directors 4, 5, and 6 to other people, and then tried to do 1, 2, 3 himself, and the story wasn't that great, and the characters weren't that great. But the characters are pretty good in The Hobbit, I think, So it's really going to be interesting, I think, to see what Peter Jackson does with this movie. So they're keeping the same director. When you keep the same director, you keep the same vision. So it looks like this movie will be really good. Now, am I saying it's going to be better than Lord of the Rings? I don't think so, because Lord of the Rings was a really hard movie for it to compete with. But I think it'll be very good, and it'll be interesting to see how the people react to it, I think, because I know a lot of people hate it. And I think Peter Jackson can make it interesting. So, because, movies are never like the books. They always change some stuff, but I'm not totally against that either. I like when they change some stuff to make it a little more visually interesting or whatever interesting, however they want to make it interesting. So tell me in the comments below what you think about The Hobbit Part 1. And tell me what you think about the casting choices. And just tell me, are you excited for this movie like I am? I'm really excited because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So comment below and tell me your thoughts.